We have with us Mr. Rajan Mathews, DG COAI. Sir, thank you so much for joining us on
Thank you.
Bloomberg Quint. An eventful meeting with TRAI today. As far as interconnect issue is concerned, do we finally have a solution after this meeting, or are we moving towards a solution? What's the update on that, sir?
Eventful on many points. One of the most eventful being that TRAI for the first time asked us to leave a meeting when very often even if we haven't had a direct invite, we represent the interests of the industry. We try to bring resolution of the matter. So we were very disappointed with the call that TRAI took. So what I'm responding to is secondhand. So I was not there. So clearly what transpired from reports that we've received is that the incumbent operators as well as RIL expressed all the various concerns and issues that had been represented, and the TRAI, after listening, basically said, look, we'll take into consideration your contention of asymmetrical traffic and what that means in terms of MTC, that is mobile termination charge. Is that 14 paisa, some other amount? Secondly, they then encourage the incumbents and the RIL team to get together as soon as possible and use realistic incremental assumption sets for the number of POIs and the capacity in each of those POIs going forward. They said, well, let's not worry about what it will be, 3 years, 2 years, 6 months. Let's just go incrementally. We understand that there'll be growth because the asymmetrical traffic burden presently is one of the issues that is causing problems. So they said, look, can we reduce that to more symmetrical traffic and then sort of take it forward incrementally so that nobody is disenfranchised?
So, what is the? So both the sides on this issue have very strong opinions. After this meeting, do you get a sense that there is more cooperation likely after this meeting? And how long do you think this impasse will continue?
So we hope so. We certainly, one of the log jams have been broken. As you well know, when both sides are trying to make their pitches, they try to take extreme positions of sort, so that there's clarity as to what the issues are. And the reason was that both the TRAI and the DOT had kind of sort of not taken an involved position. So at this point, the DOT did ask the TRAI to follow up. TRAI did follow up. They did arrange this particular meeting. They did ask the operators to try and see if they can move forward. They have asked for certain information back from the operators. So there is much more of an active involvement, which leads us to believe that maybe now the operators will begin to come off the extreme positions, if you will, and begin to say, okay, under this incremental provisioning methodology, can both sides come to an understanding of what's required?
All right, but there's no final solution as of yet.
Not as of yet, because the arrangements on interconnect are always bilateral. So the incumbents have to meet one-on-one with RIL. Excuse me. So that will happen. I'm sure RIL will be very keen to initiate those meetings. Incumbent operators will respond, and hopefully over the course of those negotiations, an agreement will be achieved in terms of the number of E1s that are required at each POI, and then we can move forward on that basis.
All right. Last question, sir. So your organization and RIL have been in this tussle for a long time. After what happened today, do you think the bitterness will go a step further? Does that affect the relation that you and RIL have been having?
Sometimes you have juvenile conduct by some players, some representative of the players, not even the players. I'd hate to attribute this to a good and great organization like Reliance Jio. So somebody gets out of line, so fine. I don't think this has a major impact on the relationships because, on 95 to 98% of the issues, we agree. When we do responses to various TRAI papers, we socialize, we come to agreement. On issues of cell tower locations, we agree. On towers of EMF, in fact, we agree. We work together. So many issues where we have a commonality. OTP, OTT, players, net neutrality, more or less kind of on the same. So there's a whole host of issues. The point is that when you take a piece of white paper and put a black dot and ask, what do you see? Everybody says the black dot, when 99% is white. All right. So I think this is part of the issue. No hard feelings. This is sharp elbows. We've seen it before, and we've been in the middle of this before, and we hope that things will normalize soon.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for joining us
Not
on
at all.
Bloomberg
Thank
Quint.
you.